Hey, what's up? It's your boy JP. I'm clocking right back in with you guys. And today, what I'm going to be talking about is America. And I'm sorry, you guys, but I don't want to sound like a broken fucking record. I really don't. I really don't. But, one thing I've noticed about America, America is just not a fun place anymore. America's just, it's not fun. It's not anything that it was marketed us to be when we were children, right? And it's like, you really notice a shift in society once the cell phones, social media took off and yada, yada, yada. We can say that's the reason for the decline. And for a big part, it is. But it feels as though, I don't know, it was just something back in the day where America felt optimistic. America felt like there was so much to look forward to. You can even watch it in the movies back in the day. In the movies in the 2000s and the 2010s, it has a completely different undertone than the movies that we have today in 2025. 2025 movies feel like you're watching a movie that's so fucking controlled and so fucking watered down and so fucking pasty. The lightning is so soulless, so corporate. Back in the day, the movies so felt vibrant. It had lively colors. It had, imagination. It had creativity. And that's just the analogy I use, to compare the time difference. Back in the day, you know, it felt like you had the world at your hands. It felt like America was free. America was the greatest country. America was vibrant. America was had its cool factor. But now it's like it's fucking soulless here, bro. It is soulless, man. And I'm talking everything. I'm talking from the fucking food, from the fucking cars, from the fucking people, from the fucking buildings, from the fucking conversations, from the fucking trends, from the fucking grass that grows, from the fucking streets, from the fucking stop signs, from fucking the fucking music, from the fucking TV shows, from every fucking thing, and it feels like it's just, it just drains you just to walk outside and see this fucking soulless fucking circus show, take place. You know, it feels like back in the day, we had so much creativity, we had so much soul to us, we had substance, we had life. Everyone had their, unique things about them that made them special. This guy over there can fold his fucking hands back. This girl over here is the knick-knack girl. She has all the knick-knacks that she attaches to her hair and attaches to her clothes. You know, this guy over here, does weird flips. And can speak three different languages. That guy over there has a weird sense for telling the time without looking at it. That guy over there knows when it's about to rain. He's like a cow. But now it's like everyone focus on Cardi B, Kendrick Lamar, you know, fucking NBA, Hawk Tour girl, whatever the fuck her name is. I really could give a fuck. And it's fucking bullshit. Like none of this shit means anything, bro. We're like fucking stupid robots, bro. And this is America now. America is just, it's like, for the most people, it's like a third world country. For a small percent of people, yeah, it's the greatest country on earth. It's a paradise. It's a land of milk and cookies. Wake up in mansions, drive supercars. For a small percentage of people, America is like a wonderland. But for most people, like you and I, that's listening to me right now, it's a fucking hellhole. That's a fucking hellhole. You know. It's just that this is not the America that we grew up in. This is not the America that was promised to us. This is not the America that was going to sustain our future. You know, this is not the America that we looked forward to growing up as kids. You know, we thought we were gonna grow up and be running this fucking shit. We thought we were gonna become something extraordinary, but now it's like the wealth gap between normal people, you know, and these fucking rich, you know, fucking Freemasons or Illuminati or whatever the fuck you want to call them, the elites. The wealth gap between them and us is just widening to a degree where nobody's gonna ever live a great life unless they allow it, you know? That's how it feels, man. It feels like this shit just it's like, man, it's like you're already dead in a sense for most people. It's like America's the walking dead. America used to be, you know, I'm not gonna say America was perfect back in the day, but America had a had an energy, had an aura to it that still felt, you know, optimistic. But now it's like we're like the Walking Dead people. We're like the Walking Dead, you know. You go out there, it's like people are just they have no life to them, bro. They have no substance to them. There's nothing special about anybody anymore, you know. You go over here, this girl's talking about Nicki Minaj. You go over here, that girl's talking about Sexy Red. You go over there, that dude's talking about Kendrick Lamar. You go over here, this girl over here is twerking. You go over there, that dude has a podcast berating women. You go over here, you know, they're talking about fucking they're gonna fucking smoke, drink, and do all this bullshit that thinks that makes them unique, but you know, you're just a fucking hyped up fucking crackhead, you know. And it's just like nothing's interesting. Nothing. You know, people are boring. They're fucking boring. They all talk about the same things. They all do the same fucking things. You know, oh, I'm gonna fucking go out and go drink myself half to death and black out. You know, okay, cool, bro. Oh, I'm gonna fucking smoke marijuana until I fucking pop a blood vessel in my brain. Okay, cool. Oh, this girl said, oh, okay, I'm gonna fucking make a twerking video for TikTok and it's gonna make me go viral. Okay, cool. Go ahead and do it, you fucking dumb bitch. You know, you know, it's just all fucking, it's all meaningless, man. It's just all fucking meaningless, bro. And America it feels like this place has ran its course, man. It feels like, you know, we like it feels like I'd say in the midpoint, in the mid, like in a, I say the late 2000s, we crossed over into a portal into a world of fucking virtual bullshit. You know, when that first iPhone came out, we were basically fucking screwed from that point on. When Jeff Bezos made the first iPhone in 2007, it was all fucking downhill from there. Well, not Jeff Bezos, Steve Jobs. You know, when Steve Jobs made that first iPhone and gave the whole presentation and put it out and market in stores, and you know, we ditched our Nokia phones, we ditched our flip phones, we ditched our dope boy phones, we ditched our fucking Walkmans, and we said, fuck that. We're getting iPhones. We're getting Blackberries. We're getting Sprint. You know, we're getting those phones where you flip it, where you slide it up and you can text like a keyboard. We're getting that. From that point on, we were fucking screwed. You know, from that point on, it was all fucking downhill from there, man. I remember it like it was yesterday, man. I remember it like it was fucking yesterday. And yeah, social media does play a part, but I think it's just that, you know, this human experiment of ours is unraveling. And no matter how we try to contain this, no matter how we try to temper the bullshit that's flying over our heads, we can't. You know, it's gotten to a point where, you know, most people like me, I don't even like leaving the house because I already know what's out there. You know, I don't even like leaving the house and seeing these fucking human monkey beast fucking do what they fucking do. You know? And America is just, you know, America is just, I don't know what to make of this fucking land anymore. You know? You know, I don't know what to make of it, man. No, nothing makes sense. Nothing matters. You know, men are not respected. The women are fucking beyond redemption. The children are fucking are morons. They can't fucking read. And it's like Idiocracy. It's the movie Idiocracy. In real time, Idiocracy. That's what it's like. It's like the dumber you are, the more popular you can get. The smarter you are, the more that you repel people. And it's like, damn, that's crazy. You know, you know, I don't know, man. It's like nobody can afford to do anything. Nobody can afford to pay their bills. Nobody can afford to have children. Nobody can afford to have fun. Nobody can afford to fucking keep paying bills on their car. Nobody can afford to buy a house. People can barely afford to put gas in the car that they have to pay a fucking car note and insurance on. People can't afford to pay for groceries that they're fucking injecting with chemicals that's meant to fucking, disease us all. You know? Nobody can afford to buy the things that they manipulate. That's America in a nutshell. Not being able to afford the things that's really killing you behind the scenes. That's America in a nutshell for you guys. you know. And this America, I've never seen this many homeless people in my life. Homeless people was a thing growing up, but now it's like it's fucking everywhere. You know, I'm here in well, I don't want to tell my location, but I'm here in the South, right? I'm here in the South. I will say I'm in the South, and it's like we're becoming like California, where you just see a whole stretch of fucking homeless people, and there's nothing you can really do about it. There's nothing you can do about it. You're so fucking poor, you can't help them. You're too busy worried about your own shit. Some of these people are not hooked up on drugs. Some of these people are not fucking whack jobs. They're just people who just fell on hard times by this corrupt fucking matrix of ours, and they have to do what they do to survive. You know, this American fucking propaganda shit show is coming down. It's getting so bad where people are really buying those little homes from Home Depot and saying fuck it. They're saying fuck it. People are buying fucking those little houses from Home Depot. They're buying fucking RVs. They're moving back in with their parents. Nobody can afford fucking anything. They can't afford nothing. They can't afford peace of mind. They can't afford a proper meal. They can't afford a way of life, or a fucking decent way of life. They can't afford peace of mind. That's where a lot of this anger and this bullying, this little predatory society comes from, because a lot of these people are miserable from this system of ours. And that's how they cope. They bully you. They lash out at you. They're irritable towards everything and everybody. They project their traumas of being broke, of being in poverty, onto you. That's why a lot of the society is filled with this shit. But like I said, America, I don't know what to make of fucking America anymore. I just don't, man. I have no words, bro. This land, this quote unquote society, this jungle masquerading as a society, I don't know. I don't know where we're gonna be in the next 5 years, bro. In 2030, I have no idea, bro. God only knows where this fucking thing is headed, because I don't really see how much better can it get. Like, can the pile of shit get deeper than what it already is? It's already past head level. You know, but I know a lot of people listening to me can kind of agree that everything's unraveling. Everything that was once held in high esteem, it's unraveling. All these American values, all these American optimistic things that we thought were true, they turn out to be, it was all bullshit. We were just feeding you guys this shit so we can run off with the money. you know Friendship doesn't mean anything anymore. It's all cutthroat, kill or be killed, fight or flight. It's all competition. It's all stab this person in the back to get to this position. Love doesn't mean anything. It's all transactional. It's all conditional. It's all temporary. It doesn't mean anything. It's not concrete. It's not romantic. It's not absolute. It's conditional, and it's temporary. It's like a fun little game you play until you run out of money and you got to get off the game. And you got to find a game that you can afford. That game costs 50 cents. You can't afford it. You can't afford to pay this, to put fucking 2 quarters in this fucking machine and play it. You got to go over there to the cheaper one that'll accept your little fucking, your 10-cent payments. That's what love is. You're paying for fucking an illusion. You're paying for you know, you're paying for a false sense of love. You know, that's what love is for a man. In 2025. So love doesn't mean anything. Loyalty, get the fuck out of here, bro. People are loyal. People are loyal to you until it compromises their self-interest, and then it's fuck you. You know, loyalty means nothing. Marriage means nothing. Decency is conditional. You know, everything is just, it's bullshit. The patriotic sense is all gone. People don't even go to the fucking army anymore for patriotic duty. They just go there for fucking benefits. And nowadays they let anybody in that fucking shit. So my question to you guys, where does America go from here? Where do you see us in the next 5 to 10 years? Where do you see us really? Are we gonna become a superpower again? Is the BRICS alliance gonna take over? Are people still gonna be blaming Donald Trump? Find out next on the next episode of America the Shit Show. No, I'm playing with you guys. You know, uh, guys, it's crazy out here, man. You know, poverty is like, man, poverty is just your work. Poverty is like you're already dead, man. Poverty, you're already dead. You know. But that's my rant. Leave a comment down below. Subscribe, share, comment. I'm always down to talk with you guys. We're dropping banger after banger after banger. It's your boy JP, and I am clocking out.